Hi, this is Yamil Francisco from Ashes to Phoenix, and I wanted to thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know if you want me to do more of these videos by engaging in the comment section or liking the video. I'd really appreciate that. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to find more new clients. And first of all, I want to talk about the different stages of businesses. So the young business is small or no list, has no testimonials, is brand new. The established business has a list of contacts, has testimonials, building systems. Basically, they have some paying clients. And then the businesses that are ready to scale, they have a large list, a large testimonials, ready to scale. They're moving and shaking. So in this video, we're going to focus on the young businesses because this is what I have been requested to do most. So, to choose the right path or the right offer is going to make a difference on where the level of the business is, right? So young may consider a small offer. They may want to build a portfolio. They want to create case studies. On an established business, they absolutely do full offers, meaning full rebranding, full websites, full SEO packages. They're building their brands, and also they have some partnerships in the industry. And those that are scaling, up to their current clients, they can do upgrades, they do service, they can add new services, they can branch out. So those are different offers and different paths that can be done to bring more revenue to a business. And then step three, which would be to attract new prospects. And for the young new company would be create content, cold emails, cold calling, following up. On an established business would be working their network, email marketing, asking for referrals. That's another way of building some, more momentum, bringing more clients. And then the scaling business, they can actually do workshops and they can do larger scale, be part of seminars and that sort of thing. They can create new divisions and build their positioning even bigger. So I'm going to go from this point forward. I'm going to go straight into the young category, the young business. This rest of the workshop is for them. If you guys have a bigger agency, if you have a bigger agency, by all means, and you have some input on how to get started, I'm sure they'll love to read that. So please leave it in the comments. But step one for someone with a small company, young company, their goal, one of the goals that they should work on, step one, in my opinion, is to be found. In other words, show that you know your shit. Show that you know your craft, that you just don't want people to give you money, but that there is something that that there's value into it. So you can do YouTube videos, you can definitely do Medium, Quora, answer questions on Quora, put job profile websites. But to me, the best thing is to do content. I used to own an agency, and YouTube was the one that brought most of the clients from that agency. Some of you know, Gabriel Machuret. He created this incredible Facebook group on me, basically from Medium. People followed him here. I followed him to the group. Quora, Quora, you can create a profile and then answer questions that show your expertise. And, and of course, job profile websites, there's so many out there where you can start building your profile, you can start building your brand. Step two would be to, have an introduction offer, something that, if you're having problems selling the larger packages, maybe think back, scale back, and maybe you want to offer, if you're doing website design, maybe you want to update a current website. If you're selling SEO, maybe you just want to sell a few backlinks, or if you're a content writer, just pieces of content versus a whole rebranding. If you do SEO, you want to offer analysis and audit. I don't suggest those are done free, to be honest. People will value something they pay for. So even if it's just a few dollars, make them pay for your time so that that's a serious customer. And this all has to do with sales psychology, right? Anything, when you get stuff for free out there, so many people offering audits, and people don't even read them or open them because it was free. They don't care. So if you charge something, once you do the psychology of having people put in their credit card and give it to you through an invoice or anything like that, it's going to be easier for them to give you more money later on. You can offer ADA compliance if you're a website guy. Research that. There's a lot of money on that because there's a lot of people getting sued because their websites are not ADA compliant. And of course, SSL, the security certificate, that used to be a big thing. A lot of agencies, including mine, will contact people without that and say, hey, your website doesn't have this. This is important. It gives blah, blah, blah. And for a few dollars, and then you build a relationship with the company. So, but this is just to give an idea. There's so many different, make a list of things that you can do that, that are not, that much labor intensive, but that will start that relationship with the client. Step 3 will be making contact. And this is hard, okay? I'm not going to lie. This is very hard. When I had my agency, this was the hardest thing to do. But I tell you what, it works. And when you do it consistently, it's the most important thing. So cold email, cold calling, social media messages, and these are things that are hard, and they're not easy. But there are many tools out there. Gabriel Masharet has a class on that, and on cold email, and and what he actually does, and how he has templates and all of that. So you definitely want to look at that. Those resources that are available for that. Get trained. You don't want to sound spammy. You don't want to be, hey, dear business owner, my God, please don't do that. I beg you, do not do that. You want to definitely do, be yourself, be authentic, use some humor, so you say, hey, I'm writing this email. It's a cold email. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to get a hold of you. And I thought it would be better to send you a cold email than pick up the phone and bug you during the day. There's so many ways of crafting a message that is uniquely you, and and also research their name. LinkedIn is a great resource to research their name. If they have an IG account, Instagram, you can actually easily research, find the email from that account. If it's a business account, it's super easy. I can do a video and show you that later if you guys want to see that. Where you can, and my suggestion, and this is what I did. Everybody does it different. This is what I did. I had a notebook like this, right? I know, unicorn. Okay. So this one is like 60, 72 pages long. And what I did is that I made a commitment to myself that I was going to do 10 new contacts a day. And so what I would do, I would research them. I would decide, okay, so my agency was for the catering industry. So what I did is that I would research, I would go to different websites related to weddings, and I would research those companies that were in the middle, that didn't have a lot of reviews and maybe even no reviews at all, and research them. I would go start there, then I would go to LinkedIn, then I would go to Facebook, then I would go to IG, and I would really kind of feel familiar with their brand, and get to kind of get to know them and get the name of the person that owned the business. And I would send them an email, say, hey, I was on your IG. I can't believe you did that wedding at this place. That was amazing. I'm so impressed. And you sound so familiar to some of my clients. And, and then from there you say, I have, I have this new program that I'm developing, and I wanted to get your input. Like, try to get a conversation with them. Like the last video that I made, you don't ask somebody to marry you or to have sex with you the moment that you meet them. You want to create some kind of create a partner relationship, partnership. And then, of course, you want to follow up. The fortune is in the follow up, hands down. So why I did the notebook is that the notebook allowed me to carry it anywhere. So I was on my phone sending messages, making phone calls. So what I did is that I would have I would put that information, okay, so today is day 1 and this is the date. And then I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I would research 10 people and, write notes and leave space in between. And usually I would use like 2 pages. And then I would do the same thing the next day and the next day and the next day. By the third day, I will go back to the first page, look at my notes, and then I also numbered them. So I knew how many leads I was contacting. So the first day was 1 to 10, then the next day was 11 to 21, and so forth. So I use that number, right? Number one. And then on the new page that I was working on, I would say, okay, so lead number one, I went back to lead number one, but I still added my 10. So in the beginning, it was not a full day of work. Eventually, it was a full day of work. But that's usually what it takes. You know, you definitely want to contact new people every single day. The day that you don't do that, you're just gonna go back. You're gonna go back in your shell. You're gonna get tired of the rejection. It's gonna be, tough on your soul. So you definitely want to do it all the time. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and get a mentor. By all means, get a mentor. Find somebody that's just a step ahead of you. Somebody that can give you feedback, but they still have time for you and whatnot. And as you start climbing, then find another mentor that has a little bit more than you. You definitely want to find mentors, that have achieved what you're looking for. And and you'll be surprised if you know somebody that's been engaging with you in different groups. Ask them, send them a PM and say, listen, I wanted to know if you can give me an hour a week and mentor me, if you don't have the money to pay them a coaching fee. But a lot of people would do that. And that actually, I've had people that I've mentored, and it keeps you on your toes. It keeps, as someone like me that, is mentoring people, it keeps me on my toes to mentor other people, because I have to practice what I preach, right? So those are some of the nuggets and some of the ideas. If any of this makes sense to you, please hashtag boom. Let me know that I'm on track. And if you want to see more videos like this, we need to get a little more engagement. But definitely let me know what other topics you want to talk to. Okay, so now this, finally, bring home the bacon. All right, so these are the little tweaking of the process. So number one, numbers matter. If you think, oh, only 10, trust me, it gets to be a lot. I do 10. I recommend 10. Why? Because you don't want to shoot more than what you can do. You may, oh, I'm gonna, no, if I don't contact 100, and then you have all this pressure of getting in touch with 100, but they may not be quality contacts unless you have a VA that you can, okay, listen, go out and find me, this kind of people, and this is what I want, and I want to know the name of their dog and whatnot. Good luck with that. But I have found that a lot of that stuff, yes, you can get somebody to scrape, you can get somebody to give you the information, but then you kind of have to verify it and just take a look at it. Number one, so you kind of feel that you know this person when you contact them. And number two, so that it's not spammy. You know what I'm saying? And you may find something about them that the person that did the research didn't pick up that you can use. Something that maybe you guys have in common. Maybe you guys went to the same college. Maybe you guys went to the same high school. Maybe you guys love the Jets, you never know what you may pick up by looking at somebody's information online. If you can stick to one method, whatever it is that you decide to do, if you decide to use the good old notebook, if you decide to, to just have it on a spreadsheet, if you decide, whatever you decide to do, stick to one method at least for 30 days. It just don't keep jumping from one thing to another unless it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, scrap it, get a new method. And there's plenty of methods out there, but the bottom line is that you want to stick to it and you want to make it happen. Next is having clear goals. Okay, whatever goal you have, make it that it has to be, the smart thing, achievable, measurable, all that stuff. You want a system, whatever you use to keep track of your leads. You want a system that you can track, that you can make sure that you're on target. Okay, because sales, the beginning of the sales process is not closing. It's the beginning of the sales process. And this is what I'm talking about in this video, is the talking to people. Okay, getting to know people, getting them to know you. That's the beginning of the sale process. You want to be an authority. How do you make yourself an authority? Okay, you have to write content. You have to let people know what you're doing. You don't just send 1,000 emails out, say, hey, dear business owner, I am a network, marketer, and I will love your business. Give me your wallet. That's not gonna work. Just like you don't ask a girl to, drop her panties when you meet her. You just don't do that. And if you do, ugh, good luck with that. All right. So next thing is test, test, test. You want to test. You want to test. You want to test. If this message you use it today, tomorrow, maybe 3 days, 4 days, and nothing is working, and you feel that you're doing the research and you feel that your message, go back to the message, maybe show it to your mentor, and say, what do you think about this? And maybe you can tweak it and test, test, test by all means. Keep testing. Be authentic, be yourself by all means. I've had emails that, oh, it's an American name. But by the way they wrote, I could tell it was not an American person writing the email. Like you could tell, like, just be authentic, be yourself, and, don't try to be something you're not. And your branding should be authentic. Your branding should be yourself. As a matter of fact, my first agency, I've been in business for 30 years, but my first agency, you guys are probably gonna laugh, but I wanted to call it SEO Diva. And all the branding was pink and bright and beautiful. And then I felt so connected to it, but um, I don't know if this was a mistake or not, but I can tell you this, that I kind of wanted to work with women, and I wanted to work with business owners that were women and whatnot. And I lost my way along the way and then created another agency that was more generic, more what you would find out there. And that one crashed and burned. Okay. And the first one, I closed the first one because I thought, oh my God, people are gonna think that I'm like, into unicorns, and stuff. They're gonna think that I don't know what I'm talking about. So I just, I don't know, I doubted myself. And then I did this other one that was completely generic. It crashed and burned. And then the other one, that was really good was, gold plate marketing, and it was based for caterers. So it was, we had an niche. I spoke the language because I used to be an event planner with a catering company, a marketing manager as well. So I knew the language, I knew the lingo, I knew people in the industry. So it was very normal, very, but I always look back and I kind of regret not going with my initial idea and just going with it and flying with it. And I mean, that was many years ago. Now I don't really, I'm not into agencies right now. I love to educate. This is what I love to do. This is my passion. So I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing at this point in my life. But I learned my lesson, and I just don't want you guys to go through that. And finally, work out any money blockages. I know that most of the people watching this video are probably men, and you guys, don't like the frou talk, the meditation, all that. But I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't work out the money blockages, and most of them come from our childhood, we probably heard our parents saying, "Money don't grow on trees." You gotta work hard to make it happen. And all those things that block money. And then we sound desperate when you are trying to make this work. And, we don't want to let people down, and we don't want to let ourselves down, and we have bills to pay. You cannot be desperate when you're out there looking for business. You have to be, in your mind connected to your higher self. In other words, that person that already achieved the result. You have to connect yourself. You have to, transport yourself to be that person, to be maybe, emulate your mentor. I'm not saying to copy them. I'm saying to be inspired by their success. So that, and that's why I say mentorship is, I think it's extremely important. But you need to handle those money blockages. You need to say, I can make money. Money comes easy to me. I got this. I have what it takes, and and affirmations and whatnot. And you need to definitely work out those money blockages. I'm telling you, it's going to be a huge difference. You can go on YouTube. There's a lot of videos about that. But definitely don't ignore that. If you need to be at the same wavelength as business owners that you're talking to. If they feel that you're like here when it comes to the vibration, you're not gonna match, and they're not gonna give you money. You see what I mean? So you want to, they're the business owner, they have the moolah, and you're down here asking for it. You definitely want to be up here. Like, they want to feel that you're partners. They don't want to feel that they're feeding your family. All right. So, and lastly, wanted to give you a word of encouragement with this. Big shots are only little shots who keep on shooting. Just keep on shooting every single day. Keep on working on it. Keep on working on your pitch. Keep on working, find templates. But don't, templates are to be give you an idea of how something works. It doesn't mean to copy it, because you want it to be yourself. You don't want to be somebody else. You don't want people to receive the same email that everybody's receiving out there. You want to be unique. And if you can go into it, like niche down to an industry, if you're brand new, I highly recommend that you niche down on an industry that you know, or somebody knows, that you can pick their brain, or an industry that you love. Just really think about that. What your communication, how are you communicating to people? Do you speak their language? And I'm not talking about English or Spanish or whatever. I'm talking about their industry language. You got to be able to speak to that, so that once you get to the closing, or you get to the talk and you get to negotiations, you know what you're talking about. You sound knowledgeable. All right, please, hashtag boom. If you like what you've seen so far, if you like me to do more mini workshops, I love doing this. This is actually my favorite part of the day. So let me know if you want to see more. Let me know what you want to see. If you would like to see my discovery call process, I absolutely love it. It gave me so many good results when I had an agency. This is exactly the same process that I used. I can absolutely show you how to use that discovery call to close the client. To not, they won't even ask you how much it costs. Okay, they'll just throw their wallet at your face. If you want to see that, hashtag boom, let me know you want to see that, because that would be part of this process that we're talking about. God bless, take care, and talk to you soon.